I'm Chiara Meechan, your Miss South Lanarkshire Galaxy 2021, and this is my interview with the Pageant project.
Good evening, everyone. Apologies, we're running a little bit late. We've had some technical issues. Apparently there's a storm in Scotland and it's brought down, well, we don't quite know what it's done, but it's messed with Chiara's internet. So our special guest is Chiara Meechan. It is, I've forgotten the name. It's Meechan, isn't it, Chiara?
It's Meechan.
Oh, God, why can't I not get this right? Chiara. So it's a Chiara and it's Meechan, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Usually I get like Chiara Meechan, and I'm like, you don't pronounce the CH as the ch, it's Chiara Meechan.
Well, I can say I would never say, I can say I would never say Chiara. I don't think I've ever met a Chiara who's pronounced Chiara, but the Meechan for some reason just keeps throwing me. But it's okay. I've got it now because the C in your first name and your surname is the same. That's how I'm going to remember it. So guys, if Chiara is a little bit glitchy doing the robot, it's not her, it's the internet. So what's happening in Scotland at the moment, Chiara? You said it's a storm, but it's not a storm.
So you've said that people have said it's a storm, but to me, it's just like another Scottish day. It's very rainy, very windy, very horrible, and it's not good for the mental health at all.
You're selling it so well. Let's all go to Scotland so we can all be wet and miserable.
Scotland. It's great. You'll get a lot of use out of your raincoat.
Dear me. Is it at least getting a little bit warmer? Because, I mean, I'm sad because I'm in Australia, as you know, and it's end of February, so it's going into autumn now. Summer's over. Is it at least getting a bit warmer for you guys now?
Well, yesterday it was okay. I actually went out with shorts on yesterday, and my boyfriend, when he was out at work, he came home and he was like, "Do I have sunburn on my face?" I was like, "Where were you? What, were you in Spain?" He had sunburn. So it is starting to get a little bit better. I was looking at my camera roll the other day and realised that it was like halfway through next month, but last year, that we had really, really, really good weather. So when February ends, that's when it starts to get a little bit better. So I'm feeling hopeful.
When you guys get sunburned and you wear shorts, normally, from what I've heard, it's like it's 15 degrees or 20. I mean, you guys call 20 degrees a heat wave, which is a bit laughable here in Sydney. But I mean, how warm is warm for you guys? Is it anything over 10 degrees is warm?
So it can start to feel a wee bit warm at about that. But as you said, people are outside having barbecues at like 20 degrees and stuff. And we've got the pool up out back and out sunbathing, and everyone's like sunburned, and yeah, it's great. We don't need much heat over here.
No, because you'd all spontaneously combust. I mean, what's the warmest country or what's the warmest weather that you've ever had yourself?
I think, I don't even know if in March last year, I think it actually might have gotten up to about 23, 24. And I
That's
got really
the warmest.
burned. Like, my mum's quarter Indian, so I have sallow skin, and for me to burn, it needs to be really, really hot, and I actually burned last year for the first time ever, so it was hot.
I can't believe you burned when it was 23 or 24 degrees, and that's the warmest you've ever had. And then your mum is a quarter Indian. Anyway, that does happen a fair bit. Because anytime someone from the UK comes out here, they've had no sun. They might have fake tan, so they look tan, but no real tan. So they come out here, it's almost like they see sun, and they just burn. Completely red lobster, flaking, everything. It's actually quite funny. but it's also quite painful. Now, we've got a bunch of people watching. So, guys watching, firstly, I hope the sound's okay. I've had a few audio issues, and Chiara is not using her headphones because we had a few crackling issues. So let us know if the audio, we can fix it up at all. But otherwise, let's go through these comments. Jane has said, hi, Chiara Meechan. Layla has also said, hey, girly. She's also said, I love her accent, OMG. It wouldn't be a Scottish interview if someone didn't mention the accent. Claire has said, yay. Linda has said, hi, Adole. Jane has said, go, Chiara. Layla has said, that's hot for England too. Now I understand why you guys all want to come to Australia and then we can never get rid of you because you think 23 is a heat wave. 23 for us is cold. Let's just put it that way. Well, not cold, mild. Bordering on cold. The sound is good. Thank you, Layla. Okay. So, I mean, your accent, Chiara, do you get the whole I can't understand you very often from people? Because your accent is, I think it's a bit easier to understand, let's say, than Olivia's. Olivia also speaks like a bullet. It's just like word vomit coming out all the time. Do you get the whole I can't understand what you're saying because of the Scottish accent?
Well, sometimes, like, my boyfriend will even say to me, what are you saying? So that was one of my worries for coming on this interview as well, in case you didn't know what I was saying. I'm actually talking a lot slower than what I would usually talk, just so that you do know what I'm saying. But it's not something that I've ever struggled with. Like when we went to UK Galaxy as well, whenever me and Olivia spoke, we had one of the girls say, can you say that again? I love your accent. And we're just like, we hate it. I couldn't think, like, a Scottish accent. I love an American accent, an Australian accent. I love an Irish accent. I hate mine. And I don't know why everyone else loves it. It's so weird.
There was it's actually documented. There was a poll taken, an international poll. I think it was in America. And they voted for the most annoying accents. And the Scottish, no. The accent that was most loved was actually the Scottish accent, specifically spoken by a female, because it was female accents versus male accents, and the Scottish accent did well in both. But a female, I think it might have been specifically a Glaswegian accent, but let's call it a Scottish accent. People love the sound of it.
That's so strange.
When I interviewed Olivia the first time, I had 3 or 4 direct messages, 3 or 4 DMs, literally just saying, I love her accent. OMG, I love her accent. That never happens with anyone else. I never interview an American and they go, OMG, I love her accent. They said, OMG, I love her accent. One of them said it's so thick. And I think some of them might have loved her accent and had no idea what she was talking about, but they loved her accent. And she does speak very quickly.
Yeah.
You said you're speaking very slowly at the moment,
yeah,
which I appreciate, but I'm used to the Scottish by now. Fingers crossed. But I reckon that if you and Olivia got together, you'd probably both be very excited. So then you'd go into hyper speed, and that's when it would be difficult to understand you.
Yeah, probably. It would be quite hard to keep up with an accent if you were listening to like 2 Scottish people talking together.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. You would probably miss out half of the conversation and only hear like 2 words.
Look, I for some reason, I'm blessed. I can understand your accent. The one person at UK Galaxy I could not understand was Brian Hayes.
Brian.
You must have spoken to Brian. I swear when Brian spoke to me, I thought I'd had a stroke because I knew he was speaking English. It's not like he'd be speaking, Greek to me. But I'm just looking at him going, I didn't say anything because I was so confused because I thought he was speaking English, but I didn't understand a single word.
Yeah.
I still to this day don't know what he was saying. But what sort of accent does he have? Is that a Glaswegian accent?
Do you know what? I'm actually not sure what kind of accent Brian has. I think it might be Glaswegian. He's just got a really, really, really strong Scottish accent. Like sometimes, like whenever I see Brian, he'll always tell me about his new cameras and stuff, and he'll say stuff to me sometimes, and I'm just like, but sometimes I don't.
You're telling me you don't
Yeah. So
if a Scottish person doesn't understand Brian, then how on earth is anyone? So if you have a photo shoot with him, how do you understand what he's talking about then?
You just really need to listen. You need to really use your ears, or just go, yeah, Brian. Brian. Was that right, Brian? And he'll just keep talking. He loves to talk. He loves a good wee gossip, Brian does.
He seems like a really lovely guy.
He is.
I just couldn't understand a word he was saying. I'd love to actually know what he said because I have no idea, and he took a photo of me. That's actually I didn't even understand when he wanted to take a photo. He just pointing. I think because he realized I didn't understand what he was saying, so he just pointed where he wanted me to stand, and I was like, okay, I can deal with the pointing. Okay, so Layla has said the heat abroad is so different to here. Guys, if you have any questions for Chiara, we'll keep it nice and casual here as we normally do, so put them in the comments below. Layla has also asked, what are you most looking forward to in Galaxy?
I'm just looking forward to doing like the whole experience again, even like the preparation, like on the lead up. Last year was the first time I ever competed in Galaxy, and I just knew that I had to go back. So just meeting all of the girls again, eventually getting back to doing appearances. Fingers crossed, they should be allowed soon because Boris Johnson announced yesterday that all restrictions will be lifted in England by the 21st of June. So hopefully Nicola Sturgeon will follow suit with that quite soon. So that means that Galaxy could happen if internationals happen in November. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
Everyone is posting about June 21st, and because Boris Johnson at Christmas, it was a bit of a debacle because he was saying before Christmas it would be inhumane to cancel Christmas.
Yeah.
And then a few days later he did. And I just hope he's not just saying June 21st to make everyone happy. I hope he actually has a plan to make it happen. I mean, you guys, you're even in Scotland, you're part of the UK, you're getting the vaccines rolled out, aren't you?
Yep. It's only vulnerable people and people like key workers. So my mum had to shield because she's got quite bad asthma, but she also works in a school. So she was already on the list to get her vaccine first anyway, but because of her job, the school was able to get her in quicker. So she's already had her first vaccine and she'll be due to get her second one soon, but I don't know when the rest of like the general public will be getting them.
Well, I heard that the plan is for every adult who wants it in the UK to have had it offered by October.
Yeah.
So it must be happening soon. I mean, you guys were the first to really start the whole national vaccine rollout because you obviously had the UK strain and they were keen to get a handle on it, obviously. But look, I really hope that by June, I mean, that'll be summer. So then that'll be perfect timing, won't it? You guys can have a summer. You can all go out, all be healthy. Is it just me or because the last time I actually hugged someone or shook hands with someone was pretty much at UK Galaxy? Yeah. Yes. Is it just me or are you going to find it weird actually hugging people again?
Like, see, when I'm in Asda and people get too close to me, I'm like, so I'm probably still going to be like that because it's been in your mind for so long. Like, it's almost been a year and I cannot believe that. I literally can't get my mind around it. I still cannot understand that we've done it for a whole year and I don't think I ever will. But yeah, it's just always going to be there. Like, I think it's just something that's going to be ingrained in everyone's minds, like, for a good while. And some people, it might never ever leave them. Do you know what I mean? Like, just to be like really cautious of being around about people because you're more aware of germs and things like that now as well, and how fast things can spread and how bad things can be. But hopefully, like, most people will be able to get back to normal. But I cannot believe that the last event I went to was Galaxy. It's a good last event to go to, right enough, but.
I guess, if you're going to have any event to go to before the world ends, then UK Galaxy is a pretty good one to go to. Yeah. I'm just now thinking that I wonder if I'm going to start asking people whether they've had the vaccine or not, because not everyone's going to have it, because some people don't want to have it. And I feel like before I hug someone, I'm going to want to ask whether they've had the vaccine or not. But I feel that might start a few arguments, which is not going to be good. But that's a year ago. We've been living with COVID. I mean, it started in China back in, I think, November or December of 2019. So it's been over a year now. And it's just become, I never used hand sanitizer before COVID. So, and now we're so used to it. I don't think I ever wore a face mask either. Linda has said Suzanne. That just might be a tag there.
So, yeah, that's my boyfriend's auntie, so she's trying to tag my boyfriend's mum.
Okay.
To watch,
all right, that
but
makes
I don't think
sense.
she's actually tagged. She's just wrote her name, and then my mum also commented as well. That's Claire's thing. She's like, yay, because I finally got on. My gran was phoning twice because I phoned her and I said, remember my interviews tonight? She was like, all right, well, hopefully I can get on it. And she phoned twice, like, where is it? And my mum was like, it's not working.
It's here. That's where it is. Layla has asked, have you planned / sorted any outfits yet?
So I have actually had my fashion wear and my evening wear sorted since like 2 weeks after Galaxy last year. I was like, I need to be prepared. I need to know what I'm wearing. I've already paid my deposit for my fashion wear to be made. Just need to get the money together because the job situation still isn't great. But yeah, I've kind of chosen what I want to wear, but I've got a little appointment booked in with Danielle for next month. So I'm just going to show her what I've kind of got planned, and she can see if it's up to scratch or not. I've actually had my interview outfit since Christmas, so all I need to get is opening round and swimwear sorted, so I'm very prepared.
What's funny about it is you have Danielle, it's kind of like she's staring at you from over your shoulder because you've got her on the cover of our book. It's like she's keeping an eye on you with that sort of death stare there.
I'm not
alone. Is it just me, or I don't know if you've done the same thing as me in lockdown, but if I'd had something fitted to me 2 weeks after Galaxy, and then during lockdown, let's just say I haven't really been hitting the gym as much as I should have. Yeah. I'm not sure. Some of my loose-fitting clothes are now not so loose-fitting. Is that a concern at all?
Yeah, it is, because I actually have a suitcase behind me that is from UK Galaxy, and it's got my evening wear in it. And I really want to try it on, but I'm really scared to try it on in case it gives me like a complex of how much weight I've put on like over the year. But I've also managed to get myself a personal trainer sponsor for Galaxy, so he's going to get me in shape.
Oh, so wow.
I don't need to worry about it.
Okay. Are you good with that sort of gym stuff? Do you like it, or do you just do it because you have to do it?
Well, I never thought I'd say that I missed the gym in my life, but I actually do miss the gym, because on the lead up to Galaxy, I was going to the gym more and more with one of my friends, Holly, she's actually doing Galaxy 2. So she's Miss Hamilton Galaxy, and she literally lives like 15 minutes away from me. So we were going to the gym together before Galaxy, and I got really into it. And then when lockdown happened and I couldn't go to the gym, I actually felt lost because it was giving me something to do. And then when they opened back up again, I was like, finally, I've got something to do. We were going to the gym like 3 or 4 times a week, and then they all closed again. And I just finding the motivation to do like workouts and things in the house, like I couldn't do it. And I think it was
it's different.
Not knowing what to do, because I had a vision in my head of what I wanted to look like, but not knowing the exercises and things to do to achieve that. So I'm quite happy that I've got my PT, because he's getting me going in the right direction. He's got me on an eating plan and things like that. So it's all starting to work.
Yeah, it's. I think that working out at home, to me, just isn't the same. I know you can do it. And I'm not talking about even the equipment. Obviously, you don't normally have the equipment at home, but just getting the motivation to jump on a Zoom workout or an online workout, a YouTube workout, or doing the thing that the app tells you to do. It's just, to me, it's not the same. I need to get out of the house to do that. I can't just do it in my room. It just doesn't feel right. Claire here has said, yeah, Brian doesn't live far from us. I have no idea where Brian's from, Claire. As I said, I just couldn't. It's quite funny when I look back at it now, but if I tried to understand what he had told me, I think I would still be there now, because I honestly did not understand a word. And in fact, I didn't even know he was Brian, because I don't think he told me his name. I just realized he was Brian because he was holding a camera. And I think someone else told me he was Brian. Layla, we gossip. I love that Scottish word, we. I've actually found out that a lot of Irish people use that word as well. So it's not strictly just Scott. I don't know who used it first. Do you have any idea, Chiara, who owns the actual we?
I have no idea. I just thought it was a Scottish thing, but I've just figured out that Irish people do it through watching your interviews. So
yeah, exactly.
I really don't know who started it, but yeah, it's just sounds nicer. Oh, it's just a wee chat, or oh, it was just a wee dog, rather than it was a little dog. It sounds it's a longer word
Actually,
to say.
now that you say that the word "we," I have a question about Amy Mizak, because she calls everyone hen. Is that a Scottish thing or is that an Amy thing?
It's a Scottish thing, but Amy says it quite a lot. So she's like, "All right, hen, how are you?" Or wee hen, "All right, wee hen." Yeah.
And is that
Amy says it to me the most out of anyone. Or my boyfriend,
Yeah.
if he's trying to just rip it out me, he'll be like, "All right, hen." I'm like, "Don't call me hen. Don't call me that."
So is it supposed to be like a Scottish version of hun, as in honey?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was imagining it's not hen as in like the chicken hen. I was imagining that it was. Speaking of Amy, how that video, the video I'm talking about, the one of you gracefully having a seat on the ground. How many times have you seen that? How many people have talked to you about that? Because it is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Because I've watched it so many times now, I've kind of analyzed it. So you do this little cute little wave and you're trying to do looks like a little pout, and then you disappear. Amy is laughing so hard, she is snorting. And then you're kind of just sitting on the ground. You look kind of stunned. And you've landed in a really awkward position as well. Like if I landed like that, I don't think I'm going to get back up. But that video, how many times have you seen it? What have people said to you about it?
So I couldn't even tell you how many times I've watched it, because after it happened, I watched it, and then I was actually speaking to a girl called Lauren Gracie today, because I went down to watch the Power Pageant with her, and she was waiting for me at the table, but I was staying at the hotel with Amy and Chloe Davies and Noki Simbani. So we were all staying in the same room because they were staying over, and I couldn't be bothered driving back that night. So I was walking around with Amy, and Lauren's waiting for me. And she said, it was the weirdest 15 minutes of my life of just going, "Where is Chiara? Where's Chiara?" Because the pageant was just about to start, but obviously we were running a wee bit late because, I fell. And she said, and you just came walking up to the table with your blood running down your leg. And she was like, "What even happened to you?" So I had people messaging me when the video went up, because I thought, I may as well just post it, because it made me laugh so much. I was like, so if it's making me laugh a lot, it may as well make other people laugh as well. And a little girl, Emily, she's Junior Miss Galaxy Ireland, she actually messaged me on Instagram, and she was like, "I watched this video if I'm sad, because it makes me happy again." I was like, "Do you know what?" So I posted it. And then the week after the Power Pageant, it was the Scottish Pageant Industry Awards. So as soon as I walked through the door, the first point, the ice cream van is coming round my street, just in case you can hear it. He's blowing his little whistle.
I've got a lawnmower going outside, so sorry.
The first point of conversation that everyone had to me was, "I'm so sorry, but that video was hilarious." I'm like, "Listen, you don't need to apologise." It was funny. And Lauren Gracie, the girl that I was with, she was like, "That will always go down in history of the most iconic pageant moment / fall I have ever seen." And she said that she wants it to be played at every significant event that she has in her life to remind her how much she laughed at it.
It's not. It's not really technically a pageant fall, though. I mean, when you think pageant falls, it's normally on the stage, and you take a tumble. You were on the way. You're walking on pavement. Has that? Do you fall often, and this is just another one, or is this like the one time you fell and you just happen to have become famous or iconic for it?
So I've never actually fallen in heels. Touch wood, fingers crossed, that won't happen. But whenever I'm practicing in my living room and my mum's watching me, I feel as if she puts me under pressure a wee bit, and she'll be listening. Then now she's downstairs, she'll be like, shut up. But she thinks I've got like weak ankles, and she was like, "You need to stop wearing the big shoes. Like you're going to fall one day." And I do have quite weak ankles, so they go a wee bit sometimes. But the reason why I fell is there was this big, massive like crack in the path, and because I was too busy waving, my foot went over the crack in the path, and that's how my leg went under me, and I landed on my leg, and I landed really weird, and that's the knee that I have the scar on. My shoes were all
You got a
scraped.
scar from it?
Yeah, my mum said it actually looks like a crown because it's like shaped and it goes jaggy, and it's like she said it looks like a crown. So I actually went back to the crack on the path with my mum when we were at Galaxy, and I jumped on it.
For old time's sake, to get a photo?
Yeah. Do you know, I could have got a claim out that, and I just didn't.
They should, you know how they have, in Hollywood, they have you put your celebrities, put their hands in the cement, and then they sign their name. Yes. That's what you should do with that crack. You should go there with some paint. I'm not advocating for this because it's graffiti, but go there and literally sign your name underneath it, because that would... Whereabouts is it?
So you've got the main building at the Park Hall.
Yeah.
And then you've got the outside door where you go into the venue for Galaxy. Yeah. If you keep walking down there, there's the village. It's all the outside rooms. So that's where we were staying. But it's because of all the trees that are there. It's a big... it's the tree is growing out underneath the path, and it's cracked.
The roots of the tree have cracked the pavement, and then you took a tumble.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of You've Been Framed.
Oh, is that like a candid camera, like a joke kind of show? They play practical jokes on you?
You send in your funny videos and you get paid like £250 if they take it, but it got declined. They didn't accept it. I was like, that is like comedy gold. Why would you not take that? I was trying to make myself some money off it, and they just weren't having it.
I wonder why they didn't find it. Maybe it's too funny. Maybe it's just not what they're looking for. But honestly, if there's a video funnier than that, I would like to see it. Because every time I watch that video, I just find it hilarious. How long did it take you to
listen to it? Like, see, even if you don't watch it and just listen, it's still funny.
So after you fell down, because then Amy, the video stopped. I'm imagining she didn't keep filming. What happened after? Like, did you just stay there for a while? Because you look stunned.
I really was. Like, the thoughts that were going through my mind is, 1 minute I'm like, yeah, going to watch the power pageant for the first time. So excited, can't wait. But in the back of my mind, I was also thinking, remember, this is an uneven path. So just going, hi. Boom. Out the blue. I was on the floor, and I was thinking, that did not just happen. This has not just happened. And I was thinking, I'm wearing a very light coloured dress. Have I landed on muck? Am I dirty? And I was like, oh, my shoes are going to be scraped. And I knew that I couldn't get those shoes again because Kurt Geiger stopped making them.
Oh, wow. Like, okay.
My shoes are ruined. I'm not going to get a new pair. I wasn't even thinking about my knee. Just thinking about my dress and if my crown was still on. And but yeah,
your crown looked like it didn't move. However you fell, your crown just stayed perfectly. I mean, it looked like you hit the ground hard just because of how quickly you disappeared. But I gotta say, the way you landed, it looks very graceful. I mean, you went like on your face.
Yeah. You would think I'd practiced falling, but it was a one-time thing. That was my first time. Yeah.
Actually, the only time as well. I wonder if guys making a habit of it, particularly if you want to go on stage afterwards. Because I mean, how much blood was there? There must have been blood if you had a scar.
So at the time, Royale is Dion Robertson's pageant.
Yeah.
So Dion was my director, but she was also hosting the Power Pageant because she hosts all of Pageant Girls' pageants.
Yeah.
So she's coming out of the hotel room in this big red ball gown, looking as glamorous as you like. And I'm like hobbling up the path with Amy Isaac with blood like literally running down my leg. And she just glanced to the side and seen me and she was like, what happened to you? And I was like, I fell. I was like, I'm fine. She was like, no, I need to go and get you a plaster. I need to go and get an antiseptic wipe. And I was like, Dion, listen, you're just about to go on and present. Like, you're just about to go on and host a pageant. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. She was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. So then I walked over to the table and Lauren Gracie was like, what happened to you? She was like, so that's why you were taking so long? I was like, listen, I'll be fine. Went into the toilet and I got a little bit of like wet toilet roll and just like wiped it up. And then I held a bit on my leg whilst I was watching the pageant. One hand I'm holding like a bit of wet toilet roll on my leg, and then I'm filming the girls, like filming them on the stage, and it's like nothing faces a pageant girl. Like I'm literally bleeding out of my knee in so much pain, but still getting the footage for people. But then at the break, Dion came up to me and she was like, are you okay? I was like, listen, Dion, it's a scratch. I'm fine. I woke up with my knee black and blue and all bruised and a lump the next day.
It's a bit more than a scratch. I mean, if you've got a scar from it, it's a little bit more than a scratch. Did you manage to keep it all away from your dress and your shoes? Because that's not easy to do when it's gushing down your knee. It goes all over your foot.
Well, I was wearing a short dress, so the cut was underneath my knee and the dress was just above my knee. So the dress was fine.
Okay.
And then my heels were leather, so it had ran down to the straps on my ankle, but it just wiped off, so it was fine.
Okay, that's good, because I was going to then imagine that you still have those shoes and they're caked in your own blood, which sounds a little bit bit medieval. I mean, you say pageant girls can deal with anything, and that's certainly true. I also think it's partly your Scottish roots, because the way I envisage it, you Scots can. Nothing seems to faze you. All the Scots I know, whether it's you, Amy, Olivia, Freya, nothing really seems to bother you. Like, I mean, you get worked up, don't get me wrong, but the world could be ending and you guys would be like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Is that accurate? Is that a Scottish kind of personality trait?
I think it can be. I think we hide it quite well, because like before I came on this, as I told you, I was so nervous. But then when I got on, I was fine. But I still do have some wee nerves, like here and there, and I don't know why. But I think we're just really good at hiding our true emotions and like putting on a kind of a front sometimes to make it seem like we're a certain way, but we're not. So I think that might be one of the things. But sometimes we just don't let things phase us because we're just like, that's not even worth my time to worry about that. So we'll just let it go.
I mean, if you fall down, I mean, you either take it way too seriously and start getting angry and crying, or you laugh it off. And I think laughing it off is a much better option. We'll keep going through the comments. Guys, if you can hear a buzzing in the background, it's because my neighbor has very politely scheduled what we call a whippersnipper in the background. I've turned the noise reduction on, so hopefully you're not hearing it too loudly, but I'm going to go out there afterwards and punch him in the face. So if you don't see me again, it's because I'm in jail from punching him in the face. Jane here has said, Chiara, we are not fully opening in June. I don't know what that's about. Do you know what that's about?
The lockdown, sounds like.
Yeah, I haven't seen all because I did see it's like a 3 or 4 step plan. But I in June,
that's just for England, like Scotland's completely different because Nicola Sturgeon is just doing her own rules. Like Boris Johnson's doing it for like England, but she's like being really strict on it. I've started a college course and it's all online, but she's just let the schools go back, but it's just for practical subjects just now. So if it's like maths and English and things, you still do that online. And it's only like half the classes that can go back and things. So, and shops still aren't open, and it's basically still full lockdown, but the schools are back part-time. Right. Okay. Because Freya was saying yesterday that she was waiting for Nicola's announcement and that she was worried that Nicola would. Well, I don't know if she was worried, but certainly Nicola seemed to. What she said was that she would take a more patient approach, which. Who knows at this stage, given what's happened in the UK with Corona, that might actually be the better option because, as I said, Boris has said things before and then a few days later had to change his mind. But hopefully we're getting past the worst parts of Corona now. Layla here has asked, is there anything you would do differently from the last time you entered Galaxy? And if so, what? So I think the thing I would definitely do differently is be more prepared for my interview. I feel like I said everything that I could have in my interview, but I just feel as if it could have been a bit better. So I have booked in for a little session with Harriet Lane to get me up to scratch on my interview. I think as well I would just practice my walk a bit more because I did have a little wobble in swimwear last year, but that was because I decided to just completely just have I just decided to have a spontaneous moment whilst I was on stage because I had a wee like routine that I was doing. So to just walk down, go side, side, middle, turn back, and walk off like I did for fashion wear, and that was great. So then when I was on the stage for swimwear, I really don't know what came over me. Like something took over my body, and I was walking, and I was getting a wee bit too confident. I went side, side, back, and rather than just looking back, I tried to do a full turn. Like a little bit of information to anyone watching. Do not do a spontaneous turn unless you have practiced it because it could go wrong. It didn't go fully wrong for me. I managed to pull it back and I still turned, but my wee dodgy ankle went. So we're not going to do that again.
You need to get your personal trainer to work on your ankles. Sounds like your ankles need a bit of work. I know that full turn you mean. That's the one whenever I see a girl do it, I hold my breath. It's the one when you're walking away from the judges, right? And then rather than looking over your shoulder, you do that 360.
Yeah.
The number of girls I've seen try doing that and you just go, oh my God, she's going to fall over because I don't like, even when someone does it well, I kind of, oh my God, like that's the one part where you're going to trip. Yeah. I hate that turn. I don't know if it has a name and I certainly couldn't do it, but if you haven't practiced it, do not do it because that's the one time you are going to hit the deck.
The person that I love to watch doing it, I could watch her doing it all the time, is Emma Rose Collinridge. Her walk is just immaculate. It's like amazing. And I must have thought to myself from watching her during like rehearsals, well, I'm just going to do that. I'm never going to do that again.
But you see, this is why, because I'm planning to put a pageant sort of summit together, and for the walk, I'm bringing in Emma because out of everyone I've seen walk, she's a very good walker, but also she makes it look effortless.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, she's had years of dance training, like competitive dance training. Yeah. So if anyone's going to be able to pull off those spins, it would be her. But it takes a load of practice. But if you want to up your walk, I would definitely train with her. But yeah, probably one of the best walkers I've seen. Layla has said she's supplying loads of questions, which she is. Thank you. Martha here said, I got it, love Gran. So hopefully your Gran has managed to tune in.
That is my Gran.
Danielle.
Martha's my Gran.
Oh, there you go. She's got a lovely profile photo there, all sparkly.
Yeah, I need to go and fix it for her. She's got lots and lots of different, like, see how the little templates you can put on? Like she's got a lot of them on top of each other. So, Gran, I'll need to get down and fix that for you. I said that to my mum last week.
Okay. Layla has said, ooh, Danielle is great, best stylist for pageantry. Well, I mean, she's right behind Chiara, as I said. You can see her face, so you have to say that, otherwise she won't be happy. Rachel here. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Chiara. I miss you so much, girlie. What's been your proudest moment in life?
Proudest moment in life would probably be becoming more confident, because in school I was quite shy. I feel like this is a thing that a lot of pageant girls say, but it's so true. Like in school I was so quiet, withdrawn from everyone, like, and I was kind of picked on for it because I was so quiet, and it would just take one thing for someone to say to me and I would actually hit a red neck. Like my face would go so red.
Wow.
And people would just like, they would pick on me for it, and they would pick on me for the fact that I did have sallow skin and like I had like Indian family and stuff like that. So just being able to get past all of that and become a more confident person, that would be probably my proudest moment in life. And it's made me into a completely different person. And if it wasn't for pageantry, like, I don't know actually what I would be like, or where I would be today, or what kind of person I would be. So I'm so glad that I came across it.
Sorry, Chiara, just give me a second. So that I normally start interviews with this, but how did you? What drove you to start pageants in the first place?
I feel like this might sound like something that people say a lot as well, but with my gran, I used to watch Toddlers and Tiaras all the time when I was a bit younger. And I used to always say, oh, I'd love to do that. But I never thought it would be something I would do. So when I went to dancing when I was in high school, there was one of the younger girls that was at my dancing. She was entered into a pageant, which was Mini Miss European Scotland. And her mum said that they were looking for members for Team Scotland for the Miss division. And she said, oh, you should enter. And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I said to my mum, we went through with the selection process and I was chosen for Team Scotland. So that was my first ever pageant. It was Miss European before it turned to Miss European Global. I was only 16. I was the youngest contestant competing because the age category was 16 to 35.
Yeah, for the Miss division, you would have been very young.
It was very, it was a very big age division. I placed top 3 and I was Miss European Princess Scotland. So for that being my first pageant, it was quite a big pageant. And gaining confidence from that again just drove me to want to keep being involved, and I've been involved ever since and won like my title, and I'm going back for Galaxy again. So that's how I got into pageants, and I don't think I'll ever be able to leave. Like, I've severely got the pageant bug.
Sounds like you've got a really, really bad chronic case of the pageant bug there. Speaking of Galaxy, do you have any expectations of yourself as to where you'd like to place, or are you just going there to enjoy the journey and do your best?
So, of course, I want to enjoy the journey and do my best, but I think if people went to a pageant saying that they don't want to win and they don't mind if they don't win, there's a slight bit of a lie in there. Everyone enters a pageant to win. I would absolutely love to win. But I placed top 12 last year, and for that being my first time competing in Galaxy, competing against so many girls, I was so proud of myself. But to get in that top 5 or to possibly win would be my goal, and I wouldn't like to be anything less than that.
So what do you feel that you have to work on in order to get to that top 5? I mean, you mentioned interview and you mentioned preparing a little bit more. Are those the 2 main things that you'd be focusing on?
Absolutely. Brushing up on my interview, making sure that there would be no question that would trip me up, that I wouldn't be able to answer, to just get everything across that I would want to say. I think last year I didn't have a platform, so I really need to have a hard think about what platform I want to be like talking about and like letting everyone know about. So I think to have a platform as well, that would maybe be better for me, and getting my on stage routine like down to a T would be my 2 main things that I really need to work on to feel the best version of myself, and also with my PT, getting things going with him, just being the best version of myself. If I do everything that I possibly can, then I can't do anything more.
When is Galaxy scheduled again? Is it October or November? It's towards the end of the year, right?
November, yeah. October's Miss Teen Great Britain. We're scheduled for November, and the Miss night is on the 28th, so it'll be the 26th to the 28th of November.
And it's back at the same venue as last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something to look forward to. God, by that time Christmas will just be around the corner again. So hopefully Corona is gone and is ancient history, and we can all get back together and enjoy ourselves. It would be, I just think that might be the first pageant that I can attend in person, certainly overseas. So it'd be funny being that UK Galaxy was the last one I got to attend, and it'll be the first one back that I get to attend, and it would have been, like 18 months in between times. So I don't think I realized how much I would miss pageant land until it wasn't there, as silly as it might sound. Melissa has said you're doing amazing, Chiara. Rachel here has said, I don't know who's more clumsy, me or you, Chiara. So many pageant memories I have with you. Here's a question. What's your fave pageant memory since the start of your journey?
I have so many, to even be able to pick one. Apart from falling. I think it would have to be placing top 12 at Galaxy and winning the title of Miss Teen Royale UK. I competed for Miss Teen Royale for 2 years, and the girls that I was competing against, they were really, really good competition, and I really didn't know who was going to win. And when I won, it was like that shocked cry, and it was such an ugly, ugly crying face. It was so bad. And Brian just had to catch it on camera. But yeah, that those would have to be my favourite pageant memories. But also meeting everyone and meeting new friends and going to all the different appearances. As I said, if I didn't ever come across pageants, I would have never had all these experiences. And it's also pageantry's also opened doors for me, and with jobs. I was modelling for a shop called Deja Elite Boutique, which is a prom dress shop from where I stay. So I was modelling for them and working in there and helping the girls pick their prom dresses and stuff. And I ended up working in a call centre as well. And Sky TV. Sky. Yeah, I worked for them for a while in the cancellations department. But wasn't for me having people shouting down the phone at me all day. But having a job like that, I don't think I could have a job like that if it wasn't for pageants, because it really helped my communication skills as well, and being able to hold a conversation with someone. 3 or 4 years ago, thinking about doing something like this would have absolutely terrified me, and I would have been absolutely no way on this earth would I do something like that. But it's, as I said earlier, it's really shaped me and it's really changed me for the better, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's to be fair, that's a pretty common sort of story in the pageant world, that you learn a lot of skills, you meet a lot of people, and it certainly impacts your life, not just in pageantry, but sort of outside of pageantry as well, in other areas of your life. So that's not surprising at all. Now, Dylan here has said, go Chiara. Guys, if you have any more questions for Chiara, put them in the comments now, because I'm going to go towards the wrap-up and the final 10 questions. Layla, you are asking a lot of questions here, which is good. All right, let's go through, because Layla has asked... Layla's asked 6 questions here. So let's go through them quickly. Speed round. All right, so first question from Layla. Usual question, but which round is your favourite?
Fashion wear. Every time. I love fashion wear. Can't wait for fashion wear at Galaxy this year, because I absolutely love my fashion wear again. I think evening wear will be a close second. But hopefully, I'm going through all the rounds here. Hopefully swimwear can be my new favourite, though, when I'm all toned up and ready to go. Can't pick one.
You're cheating with your answer here, Chiara. You've basically picked every round.
I'm far too indecisive. I like opening rounds as well for the dance, so I like all of them. Don't have a favourite.
Okay, there you go. Next question, have you got any regrets from last year, and what's something you want to achieve this year?
My regret from last year would be trying to do that turn in swimwear. Won't do it again. And something I would like to achieve this year is, fingers crossed, to be your next Miss Galaxy UK. But I suppose if you dream it, you can achieve it.
Yeah. Well, if you do win, you'll have Olivia crowning you on the handover, so that'll be nice. That'll be 2 in a row for Scotland. Who is your role model?
So on the subject, it would have to be Olivia and Amy Mysack, two Scottish pageant girls, but Amy Mysack has been there since like almost the beginning of my pageant journey. The first year that I competed in Royale, Amy was one of the judges and she spoke to me on the break, and I remember just looking up to her and thinking she was Miss Grand Scotland at the time, and just being in awe of the kind of person she was, and thinking to myself, as a pageant girl, I would love to be like you. And then just watching her at Miss Grand Internationals and stuff like that, she was just amazing. So she's one of my role models for that, and another one of my role models would be Dion Robertson, because she was my director and she was Miss Great Britain, and that was one of the questions that I got asked in my interview for Galaxy, and I said Dion because I don't know if you know the whole controversial thing that happened with was it Zara Holland that was Miss Great Britain, and when she went on
saw a little bit of it.
She got stripped of her title and it gave
Yeah.
to Dion, and she went on
Yeah.
This Woman, and just the way she held herself on the TV, she was just such a role model to like all young women, even older women, to just the way that she reacted on the TV. And if I could be anything like Dion or Olivia or Amy, like I don't think I could do any better, to be honest.
Well, those are certainly solid role models to have. Amy's also she's currently in Miss Universe GB, and the winner of that, I think, is going to be announced soon, from recollection. So hopefully she does super well. That's right. That's right. Okay. Have you got anything planned, events, etc., for the lead up and for if you win? So have you got anything planned in the lead up, and any events planned for if you happen to win?
Don't have any events planned for if I won, but there's a few things I've got in the back of my mind. I've climbed Ben Nevis before, and I would like to get that sorted again to raise money for the Christie. Myself and my friend Holly, who is the current Miss Hamilton Galaxy, we've spoke about like maybe trying to get a charity night sorted when all the restrictions are lifted, and trying to do a few things like that. But so far, not anything like set in stone, but I've got quite a few ideas that hopefully they can go ahead if everything goes to plan with the COVID restrictions being lifted. It's just kind of a waiting on that happening, and then I can get things sorted.
I'm just imagining / realizing now, if the lockdown does lift, how many appearances and events there suddenly are going to be in pageant land, because everyone's going to go crazy because they won't have had no one's had an event for like over a year, so there's not going to be any shortage of events for you guys to attend. That's for sure. Ladies, ask, how have you prepared so far for the final?
So a big part of it being my wardrobe. Kind of I got that half sorted, just waiting on confirmation from Danielle to see if it's all right to wear, and just booking in for interview like preparation and things like that. Still need to get my walk on, and then also with the PT I'm getting all the work in for that, so that's what I've been doing so far. But there's not much else I can do, obviously, with the lockdown.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet at the moment. Just got to wait to see what happens with Corona, don't we? If you could meet, so this is second to last question. If you could meet anyone from from history or the present time, who would you meet? And Layla's been copying these off the Pageant Planet website. I thought they looked a little bit familiar. If you could meet anyone from history, who would it be?
No, this isn't a question I've ever thought of. I
mean, it says present time as well. So basically it's like, if you could meet anyone, who would it be?
I think I'd quite like to meet like one of the Kardashians, just to say, oh yeah, I met Kim Kardashian yesterday. Best friend.
Is there anything you would say to her or ask her?
I would just maybe ask her how I could have her life. Do you want to just add me into the family? I could be Chiara Kardashian. How about that?
You'd have to because they're Armenian. You'd have to start spelling your name with a K though. So you'd be Kiara, Chiara Kardashian. I guess that could work.
That's some people spell it like that, so it wouldn't. It's all right.
Oh, there you go. Final question: if you were judging a pageant, what would you look for in the girls?
Just for them to be like genuinely enjoying themselves on stage. I feel like there's nothing worse where you can see someone up on stage and they're forcing a smile. It comes across. They just look uncomfortable up on the stage. So yeah, just for them to be enjoying themselves, for them to look like a nice, bubbly, friendly person. I don't think, yeah, just for them to look like a nice person, because that's who you want to be the next title holder. Someone who's going to be nice, someone who's going to be approachable, easy to talk to, because there's nothing worse than if you try to go up and speak to someone as well and it's like drawing blood from a stone trying to get a conversation out of them. So yeah, that's what I would look for in someone.
I know what you mean. Now Rachel has chimed in with, all right, so last question, and then we'll go to the final 10. Rachel has asked, what is the first thing you are going to do once lockdown is over? And she's also said Scottish pageant girl catch-up needs to happen.
Absolutely, does need to happen. But the first thing I will do is go out for dinner. I love food. And this is the big thing with my PT. He's like, right, need to be eating healthy. And I'm like, let's go for a TGI Fridays collection. That's like over my daily calorie intake for the day, just in one meal. Like, I miss it so much. I miss just being able to be like, for Dylan, my boyfriend, to be like, will we just go out for something to eat this weekend, or will we just, will we go for dinner tonight? Yeah, that's the thing that I'm missing most. Everyone's like, get the pubs open. I'm like, get me out for my dinner. Just want to go for my dinner.
Does your PT have you on a diet similar to Olivia's? Because her parents work in an Italian restaurant and she wasn't able to have carbs for like 3 or 4 months. And the first thing she did when she won was, I think, eat 2 large pizzas. Are you going to go that far?
I don't know how she done it. See, when she was telling me, I'm not eating pasta, I'm not eating bread.
And she worked at an Italian restaurant. Her parents own one. How can you not eat pasta?
Well, see, you should know the determination that she went through. Amy Isaac's mum held a charity night in the house. Was it Amy Isaac's mum? I think it might have been Amy. I can't remember what one of them it was that was raising money. I think it might have been Amy's mum for Galaxy. They had a charity night in the house. Olivia brought pasta from her mum and dad's restaurant, cafe, and she didn't even eat any. It smelled amazing, and I felt like I had to be like, I won't eat any either to make me look healthy. And I was like, I had to have some, and I really don't know where she got the willpower from to just not eat any of it. She was like, no, I'll not have any. I was like, are you actually insane? She was dedicated, and it shows because she won. So dedication is really key.
Can you hear me, Chiara?
Yes.
Okay, I just dropped out for a second and it was telling me that it had lost the connection with my mic. That doesn't surprise me, obviously. That's I don't know how she did it, but especially with your parents working at an Italian restaurant. But look, it paid off for her. And she'll have International Galaxy hopefully in August in Chicago. Then she can eat all the pizza that she wants. Where are we with the? Okay, so that was the final question. I'll circle back to the comments, guys, at the end. Chiara, just before we get to the final 10 questions, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to for supporting you in your journey?
My mum, my gran, my boyfriend, basically all my close friends and family who are always there for me throughout all my pageant journeys and always support me. My friend Holly, if I need to go somewhere, then she always runs me in the car because she can drive. So thanks for that, Holly, if you're watching. And then also my PT, Danny Mulholland, for sponsoring me, and also Richard Murrell for sponsoring me as well for my my sponsorship fee. So that's my shout outs. Thanks everyone. And thanks to all the people who's commented as well. It really means a lot. I was scared in case no one commented as well. So it's really it's made me quite happy that people have commented. So thanks so much.
Perfect. Okay, I know you've watched my interviews before, so final 10 questions. You get the same 10 questions. You don't have to answer them quickly. You can if you want to. But it's your turn now. It's going to be like interview practice. So, first question, what is your favourite word?
Food. Like, without any hesitation, food. I love to eat. I really don't know why I'm not like this size, like really, really, really big, because all I do is think about eating. I said to my mum today, I don't know if it's because I'm doing college work and I was really busy today. I had to go and collect my kit from college because I'm doing nails. So we had to go and collect all our stuff from there, and then I had a college class, and then I had another one, and I had to go to the hospital today. Because I've got a scar on the back of my ear that looks like a wee bean. So I'm having to get steroids jagged on that. So I was like that to my mum. I feel like all I'm thinking about doing is eating. I feel constantly hungry. But I've not noticed that like 4 hours have went by. But it's fine because I love to eat. I love it.
Well, thinking about food won't make you put weight on. It's the actual eating of food. You can think about food all you want. That's okay. Question 2, what is your least favourite word?
I don't have one. There has to be 2. And they're on like the completely different like ends of the spectrum when it comes to like words. So one is moist and crusty. Hate them. Like, they just give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, moist, you think of something being really wet and damp. Who likes that? No one. And then crusty, you think of something being like really dry and flaky, and no, I really, if I can dodge those words, then I absolutely will. I just really don't like them.
It's okay. I think we get that. You've picked the 2 most common answers for your answer. Is moist is by far and away the most common answer, and then crusty is a solid second. So those are good choices there. Question 3, in life, what gets you excited or what turns you on?
Getting prepared for pageants. That will always be up there, but a close second is actually deciding what I'm going to have for dinner.
Have you eaten today? I mean, you really are obsessed with food. Are you hungry?
I'm actually not hungry just now, no, but maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I might be a wee bit hungry. But yeah, I had dinner before I came on. I just like to think about what I'm going to have to eat. Like, it's quite a good thing to think about, because if you think about it and you plan it and then you have it or you order it or you make it and you finally get it, you're satisfied. So happy.
You've given this a lot of thought, Chiara. A lot of thought. I think you've thought about food a lot more than anyone else I've ever met before, and that's saying something after all the pageant girls that I've met. I mean, if you could have if you had to only have one food for the rest of your life, and you couldn't have any other sort of food, what's the one food you'd pick?
It would be Jack Daniel's sesame chicken strips from TGI Fridays. I would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love it.
That's awfully specific. We don't have TGIF here, so I'll have to actually pay it a visit next time I'm over there. Yeah, we don't have it. I don't even think we have an equivalent chain. It's not like it's here and it's called something else.
No.
So I have to give it a go.
Well, you have to.
Does sound quite nice.
You're missing out, like big time. Like really missing out.
Well, I also want to try a haggis, but I don't know where I'm going to get a haggis from.
I have never tried haggis. It doesn't sit right with me. I just really don't want to try it, and I never have.
TGIF doesn't have haggis.
No, it's an American. It's an American It's an American restaurant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the Americans definitely would not be eating haggis. They are not known for adventurous food choices. Question 4. What turns you off?
I feel like this is quite a common answer, but just people being rude. Like, sometimes I just feel like people are really unnecessarily rude. Like, recently, I've found that it's not even like people in the shops, it's actually the workers in the shops that are really rude just now. And I really don't know why. Like, I found myself saying to my mum quite a lot, like, people that work in the shops are meant to help the customers, not make them feel like an inconvenience and be rude to them. And it's happening more and more often. And I'm so scared that it's my generation of like people. I'm like, you're making us look bad. No wonder like older people are like, oh, it's the younger generation. Like, I don't get why people just have to go out their way to be rude to people. Like, just be nice. And when you get home, like, let all your anger out. Like, you don't need to be rude and angry to people that have done nothing wrong to you.
Yeah, I think it depends on, like, if you, because we were talking about this yesterday on the podcast, I think if you're working, let's say, in a service industry, or you were talking about call centers, I think sometimes if you deal with rude customers the whole day, maybe at a certain point you just crack and you've had enough. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I could certainly understand it, because no one wants to be yelled at the whole day for something that's not your fault. And I think people have probably also gone a little bit crazy in lockdown as well. People are just had enough, run out of patience. So, again, not an excuse, but I can see why it would have gotten worse recently. Question 5: what sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of a pageant crowd. Like, see when you walk out onto the stage and you hear everyone shouting for you and just giving you all the motivation, like, that has to be my favourite sound. Just hearing everyone, and I can't wait to be able to hear it again. Like, it's just so good, so empowering. It's great.
Yeah, and that's something that's been missing from online pageants. You don't get any of that crowd interaction. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Well, question 6 is, what sound or noise do you hate?
People chewing. Like,
you love food, but you hate people chewing. Those two might be challenging to put together.
Yeah. So I'm one of those people that someone could say something to me like 5 times and I'll go, Sorry, can you just repeat that one more time? But if someone's chewing something like really loud, my ears like magnify, they like zoom into the sound, and it's like the only thing that I can hear. And it's really quite annoying. I wish I could just switch that off and just turn up other people's voices, like, so I can actually hear what they're saying rather than just hearing.
It's called noise cancelling headphones. That's what you need.
Yeah, I think so. It grates on me. Just like sit like that. Like, if I feel really bad, right? My boyfriend, sometimes he'll do it, and I'm like, and he's like, sorry. And I'm like, sounds like really horrible. I'm really not horrible.
It's a really common answer. I interviewed one girl, an American, and when people chewed loudly, I think specifically it was cereal, like crunchy cereal, she would either have to leave the room or she would just start crying. Actually, I don't think
I would cry. I think I'd get to the point where I would like hit someone over the back of the head, like, can you just stop? But I
think that's reasonable. Actually, I don't know if it was an American. I think it might have actually been Bethany Blissett who said that when people chew loudly, she just starts crying. Yeah. So you're not alone with the chewing sound. And for the record, I completely concur. There's nothing worse than that the moist sound of someone chewing with their mouth open.
Misophonia or something like that. It's an actual like phobia.
Well, there can be the actual phobia of it, which is where you become irrationally afraid or or something like that, break out into a sweat. But just hating the noise of chewing, that's not a phobia. I think that makes a lot of sense because it's a disgusting sound. I wouldn't say that's a mental condition. I would just say, yeah, people need to learn to chew with their mouths closed. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
It would definitely have to be able to read people's minds. So that, if someone says something to you, you know if they're telling you the truth or not. Dylan, if you're still watching this, my boyfriend, he would be a prime example. Like, if I'm getting ready to go somewhere, like pre-lockdown, and if I'm wearing something and I'm not really sure about it, or if I've did my hair a certain way and I'm not sure, and I say to him, does this look okay? And he just goes, yeah. I'd like to know if he actually meant it or if he's just saying it to get me to hurry up.
Are you sure you want to know that, though? Because I got to say, that's also a really difficult question for a guy to answer. Because it's like, if they answer no, they can get in trouble. And if they answer yes, you don't believe them. So sometimes as a guy, it's like, that's a question that we don't actually want to hear.
I would rather just you be truthful. Because see, if I was going to go out there looking stupid, that would be worse for you.
I don't think you're going to dress up. I mean, you're a pageant girl. I hardly think you're going to go out wearing something that makes you look stupid. Is your boyfriend a fashionable type?
Thanks to me. He'll be messaging me after this. I'm going to FaceTime him after it and he'll be like, you absolutely threw me under the bus. Sometimes he'll say to me, does this go? And he'll be wearing like black shorts and a blue jumper. And I'm like, no, you've got a black jumper there. Go and put the black jumper on. So it's better to be truthful. Don't lie.
He's going out in shorts? If I'm going out in shorts, I'm not asking how I look. That's just like sportswear.
It was at the weekend when he was going to, I think we were going to go to the shops to get something for dinner, but sometimes he'll be like, oh, I can't be bothered going in. I'm wearing shorts. Sometimes he'll just wear shorts as an excuse to not go into the shop, so I have to go myself.
If you obviously haven't been in Australia, if shorts stopped you from going out anywhere, I wouldn't be going anywhere. I mean, I'm in shorts right now. I'm wearing this suit jacket on top, but I'm wearing shorts underneath because no one has to see what's going on under there. Oh dear. All right. Well, question 8. What job other than your own would you most like to attempt?
At the moment, anyone, because I'm unemployed due to COVID. But I would love to be a lawyer. It would never happen for me because I don't have the brains for it. But see, if I'm given the evidence, I'm really good at fighting a case. Like, I could win an argument easily, like, anytime. If you give me the information, you give me the facts, I'll get it across and I'll make sure that it's heard. I just don't have the brains for it, unfortunately. Whereas that could possibly be what I could be. But that could be a distant dream that's never going to happen.
That's an interesting choice. We've got to say, not many people picked lawyer as the one thing they'd like to try. You should talk to Chloe Lake. Chloe's doing well, becoming a lawyer, yep. So she might be able to give you a few pointers. Question 9, what job would you definitely not like to attempt?
To be an astronaut. See, space, it freaks me out. Like, absolutely scares me to the point where I worry about it. And my boyfriend, he loves to watch videos about aliens and like all these different things. And it freaks me out so much that there's that much space out there that there's like, I always think to myself, there must be a corner in space or something. Like, it just scares me, and I have like these nightmares that there's these planets that are coming to Earth and they like squash the planet. And I'll tell Dylan about it, and he's like, it could happen one day. And I'm like, you're really not giving me any hope. Or, it scares me. Wouldn't like to be an astronaut.
It seems to me that you're constantly thinking either about food or about space. It sounds like those two take up a lot of space in your head.
Yeah, my mum would say there's not really a lot of like there's a lot of space in there, so yeah.
Okay. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That I did well, that I gave it my best, and even when I fell, like, I got up. No.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, just say that he's happy with everything that I did, and I did the best that I could.
Perfect. Let me just check the comments. Rachel has said it's Amy that held it, talking about the fundraiser. I think it was an amazing night. The Love Island chats. Don't get me started on reality TV, Rachel. I'm not sure if it's frozen for me, but it's frozen. Never mind, it was my Wi-Fi. You guys in the UK, some of you really have... I thought Australian internet was bad. I'm glad to see it's not just us. And then Rachel has said haggis is, well, vomiting emojis. It's so nasty. It could well be, but I feel like I have to try it, Rachel, before I judge it. So I will try it. I don't know where I'm going to try it from. I might have to go to someone's house and get someone to prepare it for me. Claire has said, Chiara, ask my question.
Mum, I already asked the question. What was I couldn't remember if it was Home Away or Neighbours. But Adrian doesn't watch it, so he said just to look it up on Google.
Yeah, just look it up. I don't watch Home and Away or Neighbours. I used to watch Neighbours, tragically. I've never watched Home and Away, although actually when Emma Collingridge was over here, we went for a drive, just a random drive on the northern beaches, and bizarrely, we happened to get on the set, like where they were shooting Home and Away. We just happened to drive there and like be there. It's like, oh, I didn't plan that. There was a tourist bus and everything. So, because Home and Away is shot in Sydney on the northern beaches. I believe Neighbours is shot in Melbourne. I don't know because I don't watch it, but I'm not up to date with Neighbours unless you're going to ask me what happened like 20 years ago. I might be able to answer that one. Jane has said, well done, Chiara. And Claire has said Home and Away. Oh, well, there you go. I still don't know what happened. I was there for that one day. I enjoyed myself, but I have no idea who the actors were, who they were playing. I have no idea what was going on. I think Emma was more interested in it than I was.
Yeah.
But, Chiara, that's about it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It's been a pleasure meeting the legend, the icon behind the video. It's Don't do it again, though. It's not something that I think you should be doing very often. I'll keep you on the line for just a sec whilst I hang up with the audience. Thanks to everyone for watching and submitting the questions. And we will speak to you next time.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, Confessions is out. To get your copy from Amazon, head to shaw.b/confessionsbook. And I'll see you next time.